Hey, it's Displace coming to you with news about Phase 2 of Wrath of the Lich King Classic. Lots of updates coming in and lots of articles, especially if you are on Wowhead. And I just want to take some time to consolidate all of that so it's in one place because there's just some good changes, some changes that are different from how Wrath was back in the day. And so, yeah, let's get into it. So, first thing, we have a new raid, Ulduar. It's actually releasing January 19th. We have loot changes. We have a new Titan Rune Dungeon mode. We have new professional recipes, and we have the Argent Tournament coming. So, all of that in this release that is live as you're actually watching this. And um, yeah, so let's get into some of those specifics. So, um, Ulduar, the raid, 10 and 25 man. All of these articles I'm going to be discussing, I will have in the description of this video. So there is 14 bosses in Ulduar, and this is the first and I think only um, raid to ever feature like a hard mode in the way that you actually have to interact um, with various things inside the raid, right? So for XT, you have to DPS down his heart. And so this is a little different from how other raids have done. Hard mode is going to be hard. In fact, actually, I think 10 and 25 man is going to be a step up from Nax, and so the difficulty level is going to be increased. Actually, some of the changes that they've actually made to Ulduar is that normal mode loot has actually been buffed by 6 item levels, and heroic has been bumped up by 13 item levels. That's for a few reasons. One, to help ease into Ulduar, but also to make sure that it's relevant going into phase 3, which is the Argent Tournament, Trial of the Crusader, and everything. So here we have everything that you need to know about Ulduar. It's an overview guide. There is, they say 13 bosses, but there is that bonus Alagon, which brings it up to 14. The first wing must be completed before any of the other wings can be accessed. And 10 and 25 man mode has respective hard modes as well. So it's not just a 10, a 25, and a hard. It's a 10 normal, 10 hard, 25 normal, 25 hard. Also, we have the legendary healing mace, and that's going to be like a go-to for a lot of healers. So this actual guide just kind of goes through all of the achievements, all of the loot, how to get there, the actual wings of it, and how to open up the Algon, the Celestial Planetarium, and then all of the strategies for the bosses. So a lot of good resources here. You're going to need to start brushing up if you haven't already, because there are probably going to be some gotchas here that are going to catch some people. Um, the next thing is loot changes. So with this, with Ulduar coming out, historically that meant Nax is no longer relevant. However, to help with alt-friendly gearing and leveling, what they've done is they've actually taken all of the tier loot and they've bumped it down a level. So here we have some tier changes. So 25 man Nax is going to be dropping 25 man Nax loot plus extra 25 man loot. Nax 10 man is going to be dropping 25-man Nax loot. And then um, Titan Rune Dungeons are going to be dropping 10-man Nax loot. Okay, so that's actually all here in this article, how the loot changes are working. But basically, normal dungeons stay the same, heroic dungeons stay the same. The new Titan, the new Titan Rune Dungeon, the heroic plus, that's going to be dropping 10-man loot, and the final boss is going to be dropping level 213 loot. That means also Naxxramas 10, Obsidian Sanctum, Eye of the Eternity 10, all are dropping their corresponding 25-man loot from that. Ulduar 10 is still dropping 10-man loot, and Ulduar 25 is dropping 25-man loot. So this is just a way of getting your alts geared up and making it still relevant to kind of run the older raids. So with this change comes the Titan Rune Heroic Dungeons. And this is what I think is a really great change because they've taken some of the lessons that they've learned inside inside retail in regards to the mythic dungeons, and they've kind of found a good middle ground, right? So Titan Rune Dungeon, there's going to be this mysterious device. It actually looks like this little data orb here. Everybody has to channel it to activate the Titan Rune. So once that's channeled, this little disc lights up like this, and then you are in what's called Defense Protocol Alpha. And so what that means is that everybody's health increases, everybody's damage increases, and there is a dungeon themed affix. Now you only have one affix per dungeon, so it's not all crazy, but there is some cool affixes here that will add to the challenge of the dungeon. So some of those affixes, as you can see, Utgard Keep and Utgard Pinnacle, health increased by 100, damage increased by 30. They have a Glaciate affix, and that actually can coat the victim with frost, causing them to leave an icy trail that damages and snares their allies. This can get tricky in some of the boss fights. And so I'm expecting that the first few go-arounds, it's going to cause some people to die, but that's okay. And then in the creepy, crawly bug dungeons, again, health increased by 100, damage increased by 30, and then you can get a web wrap. Web wrap is just like the first boss fight, and I think Azul Narub. And so it just wraps a victim, it just wraps one of your players. In the trolls, Drakthar Keep and Gundrak, lifesteal with Blood of the Lola. And again, health increased by 100, damage increased by 30. In fact, actually, this damage increase and health increase is pretty consistent across all of the dungeons except for Halls of Stone and Halls of Lightning, and that's because of their affix. So Halls of Stone and Halls of Lightning, their damage is increased by 5, health is increased by 190. And the reason why is because of this. Pulsating Serenite Corrupted Titan Energy increases damage done by 1% and damage taken by 2% per stack. So this is stacking. I don't know what this looks like because I haven't run any of these on the PTR. So this will be interesting to see how these are in the Halls of Stone and Halls of Lightning. Next is the Nexus, the Oculus, and the Violet Hold. Again, health increased by 100, damage increased by 30, and all attacks have a chance to summon mirror images of the caster. So just some extra mobs here. One of the interesting ones is the Culling of Strathholm, and this is can infect you, and that will cause you to possibly become a zombie if you do not get cured. So these are all very interesting. Be cool to see how these play out. The big thing is that these are not meant to be mythic pluses where they continually gradually increase. These one you can outgear them, and that means that that these will become fairly normal mode, so to say, with increased gear. And it's just again a way of getting some extra loot for some alts. Also, defeating the final boss in the encounter will reward a bounty satchel, which contains 3 emblems of conquest. The emblems of conquest are the new emblems for this tier, so that's going to help you out even further. Again, like I said before, they have 10-man loot and 213 loot from the last boss. There are also some achievements here, which are right here. It's just defeating the bosses in the dungeon. So that's going to be fun and interesting, and I think this is going to be a great way to quickly um, gear up some of your alts that you don't have to worry about getting together a 10-man or 25-man run. So I think this is going to provide some good things with keeping the dungeons relevant, but also quickly upgrading your alts. The next thing is professions. So we do have a few new recipes coming out. They all require runed orbs, and a lot of them. Runed orbs do drop off of the bosses in Ulduar. And so it's going to take a little bit to get the crafting materials for these. I hope that you are not like me and have been actually doing your Titan Steel cooldowns every day. But as you can see here, there's blacksmithing. We have 2 new enchanting. We have quite a few different leather working and some tailoring. What's not here is jewel crafting. I don't know if there's a new gem that's coming out in this phase. I want to say that there is, but I haven't seen any news on that. So more to come around that. And then the last thing is the Argent Tournament. This is going to be in to start on phase 2. It's under construction. Right, as you can see here in the picture, there is going to be some quests that open up. A lot of the dailies are going to be coming in phase 3, and this is just really prepping for phase 3. Phase 3 is going to be where the dungeon and the raid come out, along with some other daily quests. So here in this, we have for phase 2. The tournament is accessible, and that's where you're doing the jousting tournament and things like that. You'll have some quests to help with constructing the Crusaders Coliseum. The Black Knight quest line actually begins here. You can reach champion status with your faction cities. City vendors are available, and you can earn the Crusader tile. Phase 3 comes in when the Coliseum is completed. That opens up the 5-man dungeon, the 10 and 25-man raid, and the final 2 bosses of the Black Knight, along with some new dailies with Silver Covenant and Sun Reaver daily quests and vendors being added there. So this is going to be quite a bit of a grind for anybody who wants mounts. And just opens up a new area of dailies if you're tired of the existing ones. So with this, there is some extra stuff here: overview guide, quests and dailies, and the rewards guide. If you look at the quests and dailies here, this just kind of goes through all of the ones that you can do right now in phase 2, climbing the ranks through the jousting tournament, everything here. So if you need to understand everything, You can brush up on this. I'll be going through the details in another video when I start playing on here. And then this just kind of goes through everything you need to know about getting started with all of the quests and the dailies and getting up to being a crusader. So I think that there's a whole lot of stuff coming in phase two, which has already dropped at the time of this video, and I'll be going through and making some more videos in regards to all of these things, including going through each of those dungeons, in each of the Titan Rune dungeons, to see how they are. So I'm excited for this, and I hope you guys are too, and can't wait to see you in Wrath of the Lich King Classic. Take care.